Scottish football on Sky with the Daily Record. Scotland's football champion.
Hello and welcome to a special Tartan Extra, which over the next hour and a half will review the most exciting championship race in Scotland for years. The Bells League Championship trophy has lived at Ibrox for the last 9 seasons. Walter Smith has presided over 6 of those trophies. This was to be his last campaign. We had a new adversary to deal with at Celtic Park. Wim Jansen arrived as head coach on the recommendation of no less a mortal than Johan Cruyff. And there was to be a third challenge led by Jim Jeffries at Hearts, who defied the odds and the doubters to create a credible force in Scotland's capital city. So, 9 in a row had been achieved by Rangers. They wanted 10. The rest wanted to stop them. And there were plenty of comings and goings as playing squads were put together for the challenge ahead. Davy Proven reports on the summer moves designed to shape the Scottish season.
Rangers plundered Italy's Serie A for new recruits, bringing in Lorenzo Amoruso from Fiorentina. Marco Negri came from Perugia. Sergio Perini swapped Turin for Glasgow. Stale Stensa signed from Rosenborg. Finnish keeper Antti Niemi was brought in from FC Copenhagen. While Swedish international Jonas Tern signed under the Bosman ruling, as did Rino Gattuso, who left Perugia. Australian international Tony Vidmar was brought in from NAC Breda. Across the city, Craig Burley swapped London's West End for the East End of Glasgow. Darren Jackson cost £1.25 million from Hibs. Wim Jansen went back to his former club Feyenoord for Henrik Larsson, while Stefan Mahi cost £500,000 from Rennes. Jonathan Gould was brought in on a free transfer from Bradford City. On the way out of Celtic, Brian O'Neill swapped the green and white hoops for the red of Aberdeen. Ian Jess left the Carling Premiership for his second spell at Pittodrie. Mike Newell also left England for Scotland's North East, while Gary Smith came back to Aberdeen after a spell in France. Jim Leighton returned to his spiritual home on a free transfer from Hibs. Hearts looked to the continent, bringing in Thomas Flogel from Austria and French striker Stefan Adam. Hibs signed Millwall Stevie Crawford, Jean-Marc Bocco, Icelandic keeper Ole Gottskálksson and Tony Rougier from Raith Rovers. Pat Nevin joined Kilmarnock along with St Mirren's Martin Baker and Frenchman Jerome Varai. St Johnstone brought in midfielder Paul Kane, while Dunfermline brought in fullback Greg Shields from Rangers.
The honour of scoring the first goal of the Premier Division campaign went to Shell Olafsson of Dundee United in a 1-1 draw with St Johnstone. Meanwhile, it was Edinburgh against Glasgow in the opening round of fixtures. At Easter Road, Hibernian got the first chance to test Wim Jansen's new-look Celtic, while at Ibrox, Rangers opened their title defence against Hearts.
Oh, great cross in the goal! Lee Powell scores for Hibernian. Good opportunity this for Celtic to draw level. Oh, what a header from Mackay!
Yes, an excellent header from Malcolm Mackay.
Rougier. Henrik Larsson. Oh, given away. It's Chick Charnley. What a hit! What a fantastic goal! Chick Charnley, one-time Celtic fan, has hit a devastating blow. And it could mean a losing start to the season for the Glasgow Giants, but just look at the hip celebrations.
Negri. Stensos. He wants to get it onto his left foot, as you can really work out for yourselves.
Oh, and Wilson, it's gone in from Negri, has a
great check. Well, that was certainly over the line. Cland! A goal from a Scotsman. Cameron! One back for Hearts.
Mark Negri, the match winner for Rangers. That would become a familiar phrase. But his first goal in the league football was shrouded in controversy. Hearts claimed the ball hadn't crossed the line, and Sky Sports' new virtual replay system appeared to bear that out. The goal stood and Rangers were off and running. But for Paolo Di Canio, it was time to go. He'd entertained in red, white, yellow and even golden boots and won the Players' Player of the Year award. He left Celtic for Sheffield Wednesday in a £4.5 million deal that took the Dutchman Reggie Blinker to Celtic. Blinker scored on his debut in a Coca-Cola Cup tie against Berwick Rangers, but in the league, Celtic just couldn't get going.
After an opening day defeat and the departure of Paolo Di Canio, the last thing Celtic wanted to do was slip up in front of their own fans. But after Andreas Thom's penalty put them ahead against Dunfermline, Celtic crumbled again.
Alan Moore trying to put some pressure on Tosh McKinlay. McKinlay, a very experienced defender, but Dunfermline have it. Here's Moore. An opportunity for Bingham, and he scored! Here's Alan Moore, in behind Malky Mackay. Mackay will have to be careful, and it's a penalty. And it's Hamish French who has this chance to put Dunfermline in front. He's done it. Celtic trail by 2-1.
Aberdeen started well against Hearts. But having taken the lead through Mike Newell, they were promptly taken apart.
It's Robertson against Stilley. Beautifully tucked away. The ball through for Fulton! Oh, well left by Robertson. Cameron! This is remarkable stuff now. Now for Stefan Adam. And scored by Thomas Flugel.
Hibs had started well, and this long-range effort from Pat McGinley and a 4-0 win over Kilmarnock put them top of the league after 3 matches. The confidence was also oozing through Rangers striker Marco Negri, as Dundee United found out.
It's a slack one by Bowman. In comes Stensas. The goalkeeper commits himself. It's Negri. Rangers looking to add to the lead. The goalkeeper's in trouble. It's Negri again with 42 minutes gone. And here come Rangers again. Good play by Negri. The hat-trick's on. Fabulous goal. Through by Perini. Miller again. With the far side, the goalkeeper pulls out of the run. Here's Negri again. It's another one. Through for Negri again. It could be number 5.
Simon Donnelly's extra-time penalty put Celtic through at St Johnstone in the Coca-Cola Cup. That game was Peter Grant's last. After 14 years at Celtic, he left to join Norwich. 5 days later, Celtic were back at McDermott Park, this time in the league.
Good pass for Henrik Larsson. He's got a fair bit of room here. Jackson supporting through the middle, and Donnelly on the right. Here's Larsson! He's done it! Right on half-time, Celtic have struck! Ahead of Blinker. Stuart McCloskey allows it to bounce, which might have been dangerous with Darren Jackson around. Weghorst to Jackson. Curling effort. Superb goal by Darren Jackson. Pure class from the Scotland striker.
A quality goal from Darren Jackson, but just as his Celtic career appeared to be taking off, it was revealed he was suffering from a brain disorder that required immediate surgery. Jackson was ruled out of football until December. August closed with the Edinburgh Derby, and Hearts continued their domination of the fixture.
Here, clever ball forward, looking for Cameron. Neil McCann! He scored!
Hibs and Dunfermline were the surprise leaders of the Premier Division after the first month, but Rangers were only a point behind, having played 2 games fewer. Celtic had hauled themselves off the bottom of the table. Aberdeen, Dundee United and Kilmarnock still had to record their first win. League wins over Celtic and Hearts and a place in the quarter-finals of the Coca-Cola Cup earned Bert Payton of Dunfermline the season's first Manager of the Month award. The Player of the Month was an easy choice. 7 goals in 2 league games meant it just had to be Marco Negri, who promised to celebrate more vociferously in future. They hadn't even kicked a ball in the league in September when this document was made public. It announced the big club's intention to break away and form their own Scottish Premiership from the start of next season. The breakaway struggle would dominate the headlines in the coming months. Meanwhile, on the field,
international commitments meant there was no league action until mid-September. But in the Coca-Cola Cup, Dundee United pulled off the shock of the quarter-finals, beating holders Rangers by a Gary McSwegan goal to 0 at Ibrox. Mark Reaper became the latest recruit to Wim Janssen's revolution at Celtic, completing a £2 million move from West Ham in time to make his debut at Motherwell.
So there's a bad mistake right into the path of Tommy Coyne, and Motherwell take the lead. Good ball into the near post, and Celtic get the equaliser. It's Burnley. This is Ross now for Motherwell. Put off by Coyle. Ross again. Tommy Coyne's on the far side. Oh, superb goal! Tommy Coyne gets his second of the match. Here's Stubbs. Good ball by Stubbs. Burnley! Superb goal! 76 minutes gone. It's 2 goals apiece. Swinging by Jackie McNamara. It's a good one. Simon Donnelly puts Celtic ahead. Another terrific goal.
3 hard-earned points for Celtic. And Rangers found the going even tougher at home to Aberdeen, the feature of a 5-2 demolition of Dunfermline. There was even talk of a Scotland call-up, but that never materialised. And Hibs' season was about to take an horrendous turn for the worse. They didn't win again until January. Hearts were the main beneficiaries of their Edinburgh neighbours' slump. John Robertson netting the winner against Dundee United that put them top. Celtic's recovery was gaining momentum, with Henrik Larsson choosing to celebrate his 26th birthday in style against Aberdeen.
Well, maybe a use of an arm there by Donnelly, but he plays it through now to Larsson. And Celtic take the lead. With 26 minutes played, it's Henrik Larsson. His 4th goal since joining Celtic. That's Larsson. Burnley. Donnelly. And the free kick was awarded. Donnelly was fouled there just outside the area. I think they're really keeping the pressure on Aberdeen in this first half. Oh, that's it! Superb goal! And again, it's Henrik Larsson. Celtic 2, Aberdeen 0.
The lead changed hands again 4 days later, when Marco Negri weighed in with another 2 goals at Kilmarnock. That made it 12 in 5 games for the Italian. Rangers, though, were struggling to find consistency, and they toiled next time out at home to Motherwell.
Clear by Vidmar. Martin's there ahead of Negri. Shivuti. That breaks through now for Coyne. Good play by Tommy Coyne. Superb goal by Tommy Coyne with 7 minutes gone here at Ibrox. Weird challenges. Gattuso wins it. This is Miller. He's held back there. Advantage is allowed. Here's Negri. Round the goalkeeper. He's forced wide up. Great finish. Again, it's Marco Negri. It's his 16th goal of the season. On the way to the far side for Faulkner, who gets a touch on it. It's another one for Motherwell. It's Shivuti who scores. Albert sends it in this time. And it's Sergio Porrini. With 64 minutes gone, he gets his first goal for Rangers.
Hearts went top again off the back of a first-half goal blitz at Kilmarnock. It was 3-0 at half-time, and it finished that way to give Hearts their 4th straight win. Celtic matched that record with victory at Tannadice. Phil O'Donnell got what proved to be the winner as the league began to take an exciting shape.
With 7 games gone, Hearts led Rangers by a single point. Celtic, unbeaten in September, had risen to 4th place, while at the foot of the table, the new firm of Aberdeen and Dundee United were still without a league win. What a difference that month made for Wim Jansen. 4 wins out of 4 in domestic competition made him manager of the month. Henrik Larsson completed a Celtic double, picking up the Player of the Month award, and promised the fans the best was yet to come. After the break, we move into the autumn, when an SOS call went out from Ibrox and resulted in the return of Richard Gough as Rangers captain. Welcome back to Tartan Extra's review of the season. We've reached October with champions Rangers going through a defensive crisis. They didn't win at all at Ibrox in September and conceded 6 goals in 3 home games. And there was still no sign of Lorenzo Amoruso, their £4 million summer signing from Italian football, being fit. Richard Gough was recalled from America to plug the gaps, but he didn't arrive in time to save Rangers from another embarrassing European exit.
October didn't start well for Scottish clubs, as both Celtic and Rangers went out of the UEFA Cup. Celtic were unlucky to lose to Liverpool on the away goals rule, but for Rangers it was another disaster. Defeat home and away against Strasbourg prompted calls for manager Walter Smith's head. 48 hours later, Europe was over for another season for Scottish clubs as Kilmarnock went out of the Cup Winners' Cup to Nice. At home, Alec McLeish signed a new 3-year contract with Motherwell. Then watch the side get a real going over from Hearts.
That's for Stefan Adam. It's a good ball too from Poynton. Away from Brian Martin, squares it to Colin Cameron. 6 minutes gone, and Hearts are in front. Weir for Hamilton. Denham missed his kick. And onside is Stefan Adam. Great chance for number 2. And a great piece of finishing from the Frenchman. Now Weir. That's for Hamilton. He's got time. Knocks it down and Neil McCann scores. Number 3 for Hearts. They're running away with this. Coyle to Djibouti. He's in behind David Weir and he's won a penalty kick. Nearly a minute into stoppage time at the end of the first half. And Tommy Coyne pulls a goal back from Motherwell. Break on here for Hearts. Bolton alongside him. And this is Jim Hamilton. A chance for Hamilton. Number 4 for Hearts. Brilliant finishing from Hamilton.
Rangers were at Easter Road, and although they took the lead through a Marco Negri penalty, at one stage they looked like taking a thrashing.
Touch on there by Levati. 27 minutes gone. And Pat McGinley gets Hibernian back into this game. From McGinley to Crawford. McGinley again, he had to stretch a bit for that when he did well. Leveti's ahead of him. Here he is, it's Levati. It's number 2 for Hibs. Leveti trying to apply pressure as he did just towards half-time. Gets a break of the ball there. The early cross from him. It's another one, and it's Stevie Crawford. Gascoigne sends it in. Oh, it's a wonderful goal by Paul Gascoigne. This is McCall. Cross now to Stensis. This is Alberts. Going to try one here. It's a good one. This is incredible stuff. And here is McCall. Negri's calling for it. That's a nice ball through to Negri. And simple as you like. Rangers are in the lead. Hibernian 3, Rangers 4.
At the other end of the table, Aberdeen and Dundee United were struggling badly. Neither side won any of their first 8 games, which was making for a long, hard season in the north. Scotland qualified for the World Cup finals, beating Latvia in the final group match at Celtic Park. Kevin Gallagher and Gordon Jury got the goals that booked a place in France. Rumours began to circulate that Paul Gascoigne wouldn't be a Rangers player much longer. Aston Villa were the first club credited with an interest in Gaza, who showed signs of his best form as Rangers thrashed Dunfermline. Gascoigne scored twice, his last goals for Rangers, but was still outshone on the day by Marco Negri, who hit 4. Richard Gough made his debut as a Ranger second time around. It was also the day the league leaders failed their first big test.
Reggie Blinker's corner kick. Here's a chance for Reaper. And Mark Reaper scores. Celtic have the breakthrough. And now Celtic on the break. Craig Burley. It's advantage for Reggie Blinker. Donnelly in the middle and Larsson. Henrik Larsson, number 2 for Celtic. Up to Robertson, it's a good turn away from Alan Stubbs and a quick pass for Stefan Adam. Colin Cameron's in the middle. Tom Boyd's header, confusion here for Celtic, and Cameron! Colin Cameron pulls the goal back for Hearts.
Hearts dropped to 3rd as Rangers resumed the lead, but it was all to change again the following week. Celtic beat St Johnstone by 2-0. While Rangers had a shocker at Tannadice.
Andy Gorham almost gets himself into trouble here. He's in a lot of trouble here. 16 minutes gone. Robbie Winters puts United ahead. Fortunate, it's a good one, Negri! This is Winters. Nice little ball through for Stephen Presley. He's down. Andy Gorham pulls him down. It's a penalty kick. Yeah, a big moment this for Stephen Presley and United. Missed a few chances. He tucks it away nicely. 2-1 to United.
Celtic were now top of the league, and there was another boost for them when Darren Jackson made his comeback. Victoria Park, Dingwall may not be the most glamorous of football venues, but Jackson will never forget the night his recovery from brain surgery was completed. At Rangers AGM in October, Walter Smith announced he was stepping down.
Walter and I discussed it in the summer, and he said he'd like to go for the 10 in a row, obviously try and do something in Europe, which hasn't worked out, and we wish him well.
Celtic's recovery put them top at the end of October, albeit on goal difference from Hearts. Rangers were just a point behind. Aberdeen moved off the bottom of the table with 2 wins in October. They were replaced in the basement by Motherwell. Scotland celebrated World Cup qualification in October, and that was reflected in the Manager and Player of the Month awards. The manager, of course, Craig Brown, the Scotland squad joint players. Just as well the prize is a gallon of whisky. As if the old firm didn't already know it, Hearts chose November to spell out to them that they were in the title race for the duration. Aberdeen certainly got the message at the start of the month.
Hearts travelled to Aberdeen and found themselves a goal down at half-time. It came after David Rowson's shot was parried out to Dean Windass. But it was to be a different story in the second half. John Robertson set up Neil McCann for the equaliser. McCann then turned provider, putting Thomas Flogel in for Hearts' second. And John Robertson was soon to grab a third. Aberdeen stretched at the back, and Robertson scored with the help of a deflection. And the Tynecastle side still weren't finished. Flugel grabbing a second and Hearts' fourth of the night. While Hearts hit top form and the top of the table again, Marco Negri put on yet another one-man show. His victims this time were Kilmarnock, the Italian claiming a hat-trick in a 4-1 win. And with Celtic winning at Dunfermline, the stage was set for the first Old Firm match of the season. Before it, Celtic finally clinched the signing of Paul Lambert from Borussia Dortmund for £1.75 million. Lambert didn't start the game, and it was an Old Firm veteran who settled it.
Poor ball from Reggie Blinker, that. Now here's Brian Laudrup. Goff and Negri in the middle. Richard Goff! And Goff scores!
The Edinburgh derby went Hearts' way, with John Robertson leading the charge. And Jose Katongo clinched it with his first goal for the club since his move from Hamilton. The next day at Tannadice, Aberdeen hit rock bottom.
And it's Robbie Winters working extremely hard. That's a good ball! A superb goal! Shallowerson! This is Pedersen. Zetterland! Oh! Incredible stuff here! And just look at his face! And there's no flag, this could be number 3! Andy McLaren right through the goalkeeper. This is incredible. Pass is pushing United forward here. It's through for Olofsson. Terrific goal. And here come United again. Nice interplay. It's Easton. It's another one. It's a terrific finish.
That result was to cost Roy Aitken his job, with former Tottenham manager Keith Birkinshaw stepping in as caretaker for the visit of Rangers.
It's Jess! What an incredible goal! Ian Jess for Aberdeen! Lauder. Way to the far side, and it's equaliser from Alberts.
Hearts moved 3 points clear when Colin Cameron's penalty in injury time gave them victory over St Johnstone.
This to win the game. And Cameron does it!
There was a late goal at Celtic Park 2. Mickey Weir scored it and lifted Motherwell off the foot of the table. The Old Firm met for the second time in 11 days, and it was an unhappy experience for Paul Gascoigne. He was red-carded after tangling with Morton Veekhorst, but the 10 men rallied well.
So lead off by Negri, this is Jury. Negri again looking dangerous. Negri! He's done it this time! A terrific goal by Marco Negri. Still Celtic have it. Again, it's Jackie McNamara. And they get the equaliser! Allen stops! In the 90th minute of the match!
Alec Miller was appointed new manager of Aberdeen. And he got an idea of the task ahead when his side let a 1-goal lead slip with 9 minutes to go at Dunfermline. Rangers did something similar at Motherwell, allowing Tommy Coyne in to snatch a point. While Andreas Thom scored the last goals of his Celtic career against Dundee United. Hearts ended the month on a real high, winning an 8-goal thriller against Kilmarnock. It featured a hat-trick for Frenchman Stéphane Adam, and gave further notice that Hearts were in it for the long haul.
Hearts were back on top at the end of November, a point clear of Rangers and 5 clear of Celtic. Hibs' decline continued. They took only 1 point in the month, while Aberdeen returned to the foot of the table. Jim Jeffries was the unanimous choice as the manager of the month for November. Dunfermline striker Andy Smith was the player of the month. His goals had helped the club reach their highest league position since league reconstruction 20 years ago. And the first major trophy of the season was decided when Celtic met Dundee United in the Coca-Cola Cup final at Ibrox.
Second goal of the season, and Ibrox erupts with Celtic jubilation.
Larson up in support. Larson shot deflected. It's 2. 2 goals in as many minutes. And Celtic really in the driving seat. Larson to buy himself some time here. Players are trying to get forward. He's done really well and he's lined it up for Reggie Blinker. Away from Zetterland. What a goal! The crowning glory. Craig Burney's the scorer. This is for Tommy Boyd. They've responded to the acclaim of this immense support. And the reward is the League Cup, garlanded in green ribbons. And as Tommy Boyd picks it up, they're hoping that this is a signal of good times ahead.
In early December, Scottish football lost an all-time great. Billy Bremner, the epitome of the tough-tackling Scottish midfielder, died at the age of 54. He was Scotland's captain at the 1974 World Cup, leading the side to within an ace of the second phase. The championship race was hotting up, approaching the halfway stage, and it was getting pretty heated at the other end of the table too, as Aberdeen's new manager, Alex Miller, was discovering.
Another week, another lead surrendered by Aberdeen. Roddy Grant, the scorer for St Johnstone, and the Dons stayed bottom of the table. And it would only get worse for Alec Miller when Celtic won at Pittodrie. The clinching goal scored by a player Miller had at Hibs, Darren Jackson. Celtic's long-running chase for Norwegian striker Harald Bratbakk finally came to an end when the £2 million deal went through on the eve of Hearts' visit to Celtic Park.
That's a good ball in. Chance for Burley. That's the breakthrough for Celtic.
Hibs looked to former Celtic striker Andy Walker to help end their dismal run, and he made an immediate impact with 2 goals on his debut against Aberdeen. But it still wasn't enough to win a game that finished 2-2. Aberdeen moved smartly to shore up their defence with another ex-Celt. Derek White arrived from Middlesbrough for £250,000. But they lost again, this time to Kilmarnock. One game short of the halfway stage, Hearts were a point clear. Then Rangers came to Tynecastle.
It's Alberts. Swings it in, it's a good one! And it's a goal, and it's Gordon Jury! 6 minutes gone here at Tynecastle. It's the turn of Rangers to defend. Still Hearts have it, Robertson! That's a wonderful goal by John Robertson! 18 minutes gone! Good running again by Jury. Still it's Jury. It's deflected, and it's number 2 for Rangers. There's Negri in, so too is Jury. Oh, the goalkeeper's brought him down, that's a penalty. Well, a moment of madness by Rousset. And Negri scores. Here's Alberts trying one now. That is a superb strike. There's a free header. Again, Rangers get it away. Laudrup started a run. But Jury is a bit slow reacting there, but certainly he's kept his run going well. Still it's Jury for the hat-trick. 5-1 to Rangers. Shades of the Scottish Cup final of a couple of years ago when Rangers also hammered Hearts. Well, here's a chance to get something back. It's Hamilton. He gets his 6th goal of the season.
Celtic were impressive winners as well. Craig Burley and Jackie McNamara, two of the scorers in a 5-0 win over Hibs. So the Old Firm went into the last game of the year occupying the top two places. Celtic stumbled at St Johnstone before the turn of the year. But there were no such problems for Rangers. Another 2 goals for Marco Negri, a feature of a convincing 4-1 win over Dundee United.
Rangers ended the year in a familiar position on top of the league. Hearts was second, 2 points ahead of Celtic. At the foot, Hibernian slump continued unchecked. They hadn't won a league match for 3 months. Kilmarnock went through December unbeaten, making Bobby Williamson a natural choice as manager of the month. And his goalkeeper, Drago Legovic, was top player, but barely hung around long enough to receive his award before moving to Spanish side Sporting Gijon. After the break, it's into the new year, and as the bells tolled in Hogmanay, football fans looked forward to derbies in Edinburgh and Glasgow. They were not to be disappointed.
Appointment? I'm here for my 11:30. And 11:30? 11:30.
I don't want you to be no slave. I don't want you to work all day. But I want you to be true.
No wonder it's so hard to get an appointment here.
Just wanna make love to you.
We were hoping to go to Spain this year, so we'd been saving really hard. And then I thought, I know, I'll just put off paying my TV licence until I was caught and fined. And so that was Spain out of the window. Still, here we are anyway. Lots of lovely fresh air. So that's a bonus.
Superstar isn't scared of a chocolate-eating monster, but the monster is...
Hobbit, Three Eyes.
Milky Way magic stars!
Whether you suffer from hay fever, prickly heat, dust, or pet allergies, new Benadryl Allergy Relief starts working in 15 minutes. No non-drowsy allergy tablet works faster than Benadryl.
Evolution isn't just a theory. It's happening right now. The proof is all around us in the living world. Sometimes family resemblances are buried deep in the genes, just like memories. But sometimes we can trace characteristics from one generation to the next. Improving, evolving, emerging. You could call it genetic engineering.
Sleeker, smarter, more responsive. The new Renault Laguna.
Bonjour mademoiselle, vous ne devriez pas porter des paquets aussi lourds, comme cela. Vous devriez plutôt les porter comme ceci.
Merci.
Il n'y a pas de quoi.
He who drinks Australian thinks Australian.
Welcome back to the Tartan Extra review of the season. New Year derbies have always been special to Scottish football fans, particularly in Edinburgh and Glasgow. Going into the meeting on January the 1st, Hearts have been beaten in successive weeks by Celtic and Rangers and bounced back with an away win at Dunfermline. Hibernian hadn't won in 14, free-falling towards the bottom of the league. In Glasgow, Celtic were looking for their first win at New Year since 1988. Coincidentally, the last time they won the title.
Fulton, that clever left foot of his. Robertson is so foxy in these situations. Fulton's header! Hearts have got the goal! And Hibs are behind, and we've only had 5 minutes. Lock. Robertson touching it off to the goal scorer, Steve Fulton. So got 4 forward ahead of him. Robertson looking for Fulton again. He's still going. Fulton, he's got another one. 10 minutes gone. 2-0. Steve Fulton scored them both. Harper. Making good progress here. Goalkeeper's nowhere, and Andy Walker has handed him a lifeline. Crawford, Dow, and they're level. Not McGinley, McGinley has put it in. There's Lambert again. For McNamara. Rangers, you feel, are here for the taking. It's Craig Burley! Well, it's been on the cards. And Burley has broken through for Celtic. Now Larson. The second one will surely settle it for Celtic. That's Lambert! Oh, what a way to settle it! Paul Lambert!
Celtic's win was overshadowed by Paul Gascoigne's flute-playing gesture, which cost him a £20,000 fine. The new year was off and running.
Rangers named Dick Advocat as the man they wanted to replace Walter Smith. The PSV Eindhoven coach is a friend of Celtic boss Wim Janssen. On the field, it was all to play for again. Rangers hadn't enjoyed too many magic moments from Brian Laudrup this season, but against Aberdeen, the Great Dane delivered.
Morini pushing forward. Laudrup, Alec Cleland in support. First time in, it falls for Morini! Laudrup, 1 against 3. Gordon Jury's on his right-hand side. But Brian Laudrup doesn't need him. 12 minutes gone, and it's another classic from Laudrup.
Meanwhile, at Fir Park, Celtic undid much of the good work they'd done in the Old Firm match.
And Mother will conjure something up from this. And they have! They break through at last! Willie Faulkner! Good touch there by Bratback. Maybe by Eddie May. Taken down by Lambert. Takes a return from Beekhorst. It's a better play by Celtic. That's an excellent shot! What a fabulous goal by Paul Lambert against his old club!
Hearts went to Perth and showed a lot of character on a night when 2 of the most promising youngsters in the country shone.
Adam, Hamilton in the centre, joined by Cameron. Weir's cross. And Hamilton! Weir. Adam. Hearts have got 3 in the middle. Oh, that was nearly Hamilton again. Oh, it is from Naismith. That's an absolute cracker. Here's O'Boyle. It's a good play, and Davidson and St Johnston strike back at the start of the second half. Preston getting the better of Frail. O'Boyle trying to pull away from Ritchie. Tommy Wright making the angle for the pass. Penalty has been given. George O'Boyle with the penalty. Level they are. McCann. Fulton for Hamilton. Can they get back in front? Hamilton has done it from a tight angle. Hearts regain the lead. Second of the game for Jim Hamilton.
On the transfer front, 2 foreigners left the Scottish game. Andreas Thom went back to Germany, joining Hertha Berlin. And Kilmarnock keeper Dragoy Lekovic headed for Spain and Sporting Gijón. A single goal scored by Alec Cleland secured victory over Motherwell and allowed Rangers to stretch their lead on a day that Celtic didn't play. Hearts dropped 2 points by drawing at Kilmarnock. Hibs brought in Billy McNeil as football development officer, taking some of the burden off Jim Duffy, with the Easter Road side now bottom of the table. Celtic clawed the deficit back by beating Dundee United in their rearranged match, with Craig Burley netting the winner. Then Rangers came a cropper at St Johnstone.
Good play from Gattuso, away from Dasovic. Good work from George O'Boyle, winning it back for St Johnstone. The high hanging ball from Lee Jenkinson. Here's a chance for John O'Neill. St Johnstone are ahead. Back from Kane to Jenkinson. He can aim at the area again. Philip Scott got a head flick to it. Here's Kernigan. Hammered in, and George O'Boyle scores! That's number 2 for St Johnstone.
Hearts closed the month with a victory over Dundee United.
Fulton. Long one through now, looking for Cameron. Oh, and he takes advantage! Risky ball by Presley. They could be punished here. It's Cameron. Madam's going in a run as well, taking defenders with him. Still it's Cameron. Still Cameron! 79 minutes gone, and that surely wraps it up for Hearts.
Hibs were 2-0 up at Motherwell, but crashed to a 6-2 defeat. They're 14th in 20 league games.
Rangers led the league on goal difference from Hearts. Celtic with 3 points behind, but with a game in hand. Hibernian's troubles continued, and they were in danger of being cast adrift at the foot of the table. One win since the middle of September spelled the end at Easter Road for Jim Duffy. Hibs had sunk from the top of the table in August to rock bottom.
While there was managerial upheaval at Hibs, Celtic moved quickly to defuse stories of a rift between general manager Jock Brown and head coach Wim Jansen in advance of Aberdeen's visit. The Dons actually made a good start to the match, but despite taking the lead through David Rowson, it didn't last.
Weghorst, it's still Morten Weghorst, and the Celtic pressure has played off. It's 1-1. Here's a Stubbs free kick. Reaper, Larson! Celtic have looked to have the edge in the air at set pieces against that. Is Aberdeen defenders. Donnelly, Leighton gets a hand to it. Oh, for Darren Jackson, and that should settle it.
Hibs' initial attempts to get a new manager were unsuccessful when Newcastle refused them permission to speak to Tommy Burns, and St Johnstone tied Paul Sturrock to a new 4-year contract on the day he received the Manager of the Month award for January. Billy McNeil took charge at Aberdeen, but had no intention of looking for the job on a permanent basis. Ian Jess's goal was the pick of Aberdeen's 3, only the third time the Dons had scored more than 2 in a match all season. The title race took another twist when Rangers couldn't hold on to a single goal lead against Dunfermline. Harry Curran's late strike caused consternation at Ibrox and put an extra edge on the meeting of Hearts and Celtic.
This is Mahi. Salvatore challenges. Chances on now for Henrik Larsson. McNamara. Celtic take the lead. Jackie McNamara. It's Katongo. Can Hearts even things out at the top of the championship race? And the ball just beyond Weir, but still Hearts have it through Hamilton. Katongo's there. Twisting and turning. There's a chance on there for McCann. Katongo! Jose Katongo for Hearts!
Brian Laudrup announced he was joining Chelsea next season, a decision which upset Rangers and angered Ajax. They claimed he already had an agreement with them. Scotland under-21 fullback Callum Davidson ended speculation about his future by joining Blackburn Rovers in a £1.75 million transfer. And Hibs finally got their new manager when they persuaded Alec McLeish to join from Motherwell. McLeish's first match was against Rangers at Easter Road, where he paraded his first signing, goalkeeper Brian Gunn from Norwich.
Now it's Goff, he's under a bit of pressure here. An upward bouncing ball, Rougier challenges. Still it's Rougier, it's Lavetti. It's a goal for Hibs. It's Laudrup. Doing well, getting the cross. And the ball's over the line. Marco Negri. Cross for Alberts, he's going to try one here. It's a magnificent goal. He's done it again. George Alberts.
Harold Bratback had been struggling to find his goal touch for Celtic, but it all clicked into place for him against Kilmarnock. The Norwegian grabbed all 4 goals in an emphatic victory. Jim Hamilton scored twice for Hearts as they made it a 3-way tie at the top with 11 games left to play by beating managerless Motherwell at Fir Park. The Finn Harry Kampman was the surprise choice to fill the vacancy. Rangers had suffered from defensive lapses at key moments during the season. They surfaced again at Kilmarnock.
Total confusion. What a catastrophe. And Wright says thank you very much. And a testing cross for Marshall, and he hasn't held it. And Goff with the goalkeeper out of position. Rescued by Nevin initially, but Tom gets it in. And that is a splendid finish.
Celtic and Hearts also had important midweek games. Celtic putting 5 past Dunfermline. Hearts were 3-1 winners over Aberdeen, a result that set them up nicely for a trip to Ibrox, where Rangers jitters struck again.
That's a loose one from Andy Gorham. And Neil McCann gives Hearts the lead. Lofted in for Negri, a spectacular effort. Cleland and Alberts took a deflection. Alberts has done it again for Rangers. Gary Locke keeping that in. Stefan Adam. Hamilton scores for Hearts.
Rangers may well again be looking to George Alberts here. Rosenthal over the ball too.
It's Alberts, takes a deflection. He's done it again. Absolutely incredible.
A single Mark Rupert goal was enough for Celtic to beat Hibs and end the month on top of the pile.
4 wins and a draw in February took Celtic back to the top of the Premier League, 2 points ahead of Hearts and 4 clear of Rangers. Hibs, with only 1 win in 1998, were already looking destined for relegation. But Janssen picked up his second award of the season as the Bells Manager of the Month for February. It was very much advantage Celtic, and it looked even more like that when Rangers suffered a bad start to March.
Crystal Palace agreed a fee with Rangers for Paul Gascoigne, and it was left to the player to decide where his future lay. But it was becoming clearer that his Ibrox days were numbered. And the nerves were jangling among all 3 title contenders.
Ali McCoy's getting the break of the ball off Brian Martin, shooting opportunity! Ali McCoy! Billy Davis to Tommy Coyne, over the top for Owen Coyne! That's the equaliser! Here's Owen Coyle, looking for Faulkner! Willie Faulkner for Motherwell!
John Henry's goal for Kilmarnock earned a point at Tynecastle and put a dent in Hearts' title challenge. That gave Celtic an opportunity to move clear at the top, a chance that they didn't take.
This is Vicost. Twisting and turning, doing well to get in the cross. It falls for Simon Donnelly! 1-0 Celtic! Good play by Morris Malpass, picking out Easton again. It's 3 against 3 here. Winters goes to the run to open up the chance here for Olsen! Superb goal by Dundee United, that was brilliant play!
All 3 challengers won on the day that Paul Gascoigne came on as a substitute against St Johnstone for what turned out to be his last appearance for Rangers. He joined Middlesbrough in time for their Coca-Cola Cup final meeting with Chelsea. Ali McCoy was in the middle of a goal-scoring streak. He notched 2 at Dunfermline to help Rangers to a narrow win. Jonas Tern grabbed the 3rd and decisive goal, while rivals Celtic and Hearts fought out a goalless draw.
Celtic continued to lead the league from Hearts and Rangers. Kilmarnock and St Johnstone were battling it out for the remaining UEFA Cup place. At the bottom, Hibs, despite their new manager, remained 6 points adrift of Dunfermline. With Gascoigne gone, Rangers badly needed a lift. After the break, how Super Ali breathed new life into their season.
Coming soon on Sky Sports 2.
It's coming home, it's coming home.
The last 3 crucial friendlies before the start of France '98. For every Englishman, young and old, who's ever dreamt of playing in a World Cup, now's the time to decide who is going to go to France. A week of essential international football exclusively live on Sky Sports 2.
The real world is unpredictable. But when you have a Lotus engineered chassis, you can steer straight when it throws you a curve. With ABS, you can stop the world when you want to get off. And when you have a 16-valve engine, you can get on in the world. The Vauxhall Corsa, the small car for the real world.
Can't be late this morning. Pressure's on. See, in my field, there's no time to muck around. Simply got to deliver.
For a quick, nutritious breakfast cereal, add milk, then wake up, drink up, get out.
Easy, girl, easy.
There's something amazing going on at Boots Opticians. A quite unbelievable half-price frame sale. A sale that all Boots brand frames want to be in. A sale so good, even designer frames want to be part of it. Why not see for yourself before they walk?
There is nothing like the feel of a new car. The look, the shine, the smell. Now Armour All have bottled it. Armour All Protectant. It protects, it shines. It's new car juice.
A new financial company that's fresh, modern, and open? Can it really be?
Wilkinson Sword bring you technology in 3 dimensions. The new Protector 3D. Its wire-wrapped blades now move in 3 ways for the optimum balance of safety and closeness. Protector 3D from Wilkinson Sword. The feel of smart design. In a fresh new line of performance toiletries.
Welcome back to the Tartan Extra review of the season. It had been a frustrating one for Ali McCoist. He'd struggled to get regular first-team action, which was seriously affecting his World Cup chances. With Margot Negri off the boil and out of favour, Rangers turned to McCoist to save their season.
Ali McCoy scored again as Rangers made April Fools out of Hibs and drew level at the top with Celtic. Meanwhile, Wim Janssen's side restored their advantage with victory at Kilmarnock, where Simon Donnelly scored the winner. Hearts had gone on the slide, surrendering a lead over Motherwell to Tommy Coyne and having to settle for a point. Hearts' challenge was beginning to fade. Their next match was the last Edinburgh derby of the season.
Lavetti, he's away from Paul Ritchie, Barry Lavetti! It's Robertson! It's almost unbelievable! Not for the faint-hearted, the last 10 minutes at Easter Road. Kevin Harcourt, they go all the way through the middle! Harper!
24 hours later, the Old Firm went head-to-head at Ibrox, where Lorenzo Amoruso made his long-awaited competitive home debut.
Tan setting himself. Well, for all the years that Rangers have played Celtic, and all the importance, there can't have been too many better goals than that. With the power that he showed when he scored last Sunday. Can he go all the way again? Absolutely phenomenal for Rangers. Walter Smith raises the arms in triumph.
Hearts finally counted themselves out of contention after failing to beat St Johnstone at Tynecastle. It was Roddy Grant, a lifelong Hearts fan, who scored the Perth side's equaliser, which prompted Jim Jeffries to concede the dream was over. Celtic recovered from Old Firm defeat in fine style.
Here's McMillan. Tommy Coyne's flick. Shibuti. Blocked by Stubbs. And in from Steve McMillan. Henrik Larsson has peeled off to the left-hand side. That's a good ball through for Phil O'Donnell. The cutback. And Craig Bowling fires in the equaliser.
Lifted in by Stubbs. Controlled on the chest of Larsson. It's Greg Burley! What a strike by Burley! 2 for him. Larsson, Burley again. This is good build-up from Celtic. And Darren Jackson and Simon Donnelly. That's number 3 for Celtic. Good pass for Simon Donnelly. Donnelly second, and Celtic scored.
24 hours later, Rangers were caught out by a determined Aberdeen at Pittodrie.
In there, and that's it, it's a goal! Stephen Glass has opened the scoring for Aberdeen.
Celtic were now in the driving seat, but a goalless draw with Hibs let Rangers grasp the initiative again.
Here's Laudrup, that's a bit of ball through. And Gattuso going in here, and it's a goal! Gattuso has scored for Rangers. Great interception by Cleland. Can he keep the ball in play? I think he just does. 2 against 3 here. The final ball's going to be important. And it comes to Albert for the shot. That's it! Wonderful move by Rangers. 3 against 2 it is. Here's Gordon Jury going in and goal. Could he kill it off now? I think he might. Gattuso! 79 minutes and Gattuso scores his second of the game.
Celtic ended the month just a single point ahead of Rangers, while Hearts' title challenge appeared all but over. Kilmarnock continued to lead the race for European place, while Hibernian remained rooted to the bottom of the table. Walter Smith was the manager of the month for the first time this season, and there was no surprise in George Albert's selection as top player. So, 2 games left and 2 teams in it. An old firm fight to the death.
Walter Smith's last game at Ibrox was as vital as it was emotional. He and several players were saying goodbye. But with a European place to fight for, Bobby Williamson's Kilmarnock side weren't in the mood for sentiment.
McGowan. And that's in for John Henry. And Ali Mitchell! 3 minutes into stoppage time. And Ali Mitchell hits the winner.
The Rangers squad re-emerged to take a defiant salute from the fans. But the grim faces betrayed the knowledge that Celtic were a victory away from the title. Wim Janssen and his side got to East End Park to be greeted by a crowd ready to party. And right up until the closing stages, it looked like they'd get their wish.
There's a dump. Taken up well by Janssen. There's a run through again. That's it! Celtic have scored! Now he's kicking every ball. Like an orchestra leader there, and that is just drifting. Oh, it's in! It's a goal! Dunfermline have equalised!
It also turned out to be the weekend that Hibs finally lost their fight for Premier Division survival. A double from Shell Olofsson eased Dundee United out of trouble and consigned the Easter Road side to the First Division. A crowd of 13,500 watched Alec McLeish try to console his players and were then told that Chairman Lex Gold had resigned.
Craig Falconbridge of Dunfermline took his place in history as the man who took the title race to the last day. So, after the break, all the drama of the final Saturday.
Cheers! What was that? That was cold.
Gentlemen, let me explain. I'm a freelance scientist. It's technically known as a judder. When the chill filtered schnapps in nets is served just above freezing, it kind of monkeys around with the body's periodontal atrium.
I think you've just had my first jugger.
Best of all, it's totally humane. Well, almost.
Don't put it off. Put it on. Barclaycard.
I guess I didn't know. I guess I didn't know. I guess I didn't know. I guess I didn't know.
Here's something you should never do with your eyeglasses unless they're made from Flexon. Even after bending and twisting, Flexon frames still look and fit great. Feel free to fall asleep in your glasses. Feel free to squeeze your Flexon frames. Feel free to kid around. Flexon frames, durable, comfortable, light. Ask for them by name. Flexon by Marchand.
The Seat Ibiza comes complete with rally-proven reliability, having triumphed through wind, ice and driving rain to win the F2 World Rally Championship for the last 2 years. Seat, enjoy yourself.
Welcome back to the final part of the Tartan Extra review of the season. The championship race had come down to the last day. Celtic were in the driving seat but cracked under pressure the week before at Dunfermline, so no one was taking anything for granted. More than 30,000 Rangers fans headed for Ibrox to watch their match with Dundee United being back from Tannadice. It was another day of high anxiety.
Rangers may have been playing 80 miles away in Dundee, but with the game beamed live back to Ibrox, a crowd of 32,000 turned up in the hope that this most dramatic of championships had one last twist to take.
Amaruso. Here's Largo, he's onside and he scores! Rangers have opened the scoring. There it is, Rangers are 2 up. Olofsson. There's a good header, it's a goal! Ball put in by Zetterlund.
At Celtic Park, Celtic knew that a win would guarantee them the biggest prize in the Scottish game. A capacity crowd of 50,000 converged on the east end of Glasgow, some of them too young to have seen their last title win a decade ago.
Of clearances, picked up by Paul Lambert, now Henrik Larsson. Donnelly's alongside him. Larsson lining up for the shot! What a start for Celtic! 2 minutes gone! Boyd's looking for a possible pass, waiting for the McNamara run, it's a good pass. In for Harold Blackback! punched away. Free kick, tripped by Preston. The long wait is over. Celtic have won the championship. And the party can now commence. John Boyd accepts the league championship trophy.
Henrik, have you scored a more important goal? No, this is my most important goal so far, so I'm very pleased for the whole staff and for the team, because we deserve it, I think. And yeah, we missed it last week, but we finished it off here on the home ground. And just have a look, it's magnificent. What do you make of it? It's tremendous, and next year is going to be even better when that is finished. I love it, I love it. Alan, Celtic, Scottish champions, how does that sound to you?
It's about time, you know, it's been 9 years that I've been Rangers. You know, we've all been determined the last couple of weeks. You know, we decided not to speak to no one because we wanted to get close ranks, and we were all determined to do it. You know, people have had their say on what we are, and you know, and I'd just like to say we're champions.
Celtic were champions for the first time in 10 years. Rangers finished as runners-up and Hearts were third. Kilmarnock won the battle for the remaining UEFA Cup place, and as expected, Hibernian were relegated to the First Division. Celtic's celebrations were dampened when Wim Jansen carried out his threat to resign. It's the end of an era in more ways than one. Next season, the new Scottish Premier League comes into being, so Celtic are the last winners of a trophy which was first competed for in 1890 and ended up being shared by Dumbarton and Rangers. This year, though, it belongs to Celtic. From everyone on Tartan Extra, have a good close season. See ya.
Just a perfect day. You made me forget myself. I thought I was someone else. Someone good. Yeah.
Oh, it's such a perfect day. I'm glad I spent it with you.
Oh, such a perfect day. You just